Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
I was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later for my college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works. And it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped. So I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Because he's teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came from for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here. And thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty, who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared. And if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Yeah, so our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone to our laptop and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It's just really creative and interesting for me. I felt really good about that. So in the end, I developed my own mobile application. I showed it to my mother, I showed it to my friends. I felt really good about it. So I would really suggest XLR. I would recommend it to all my friends to take courses from here, as they focus on the children, focus on the students, and they focus on what's necessary, that is the students' doubts gets cleared and everything else. So today I came down to the XLR office like to collect my certificate. So I got to know about what other courses XLR is offering. It included data analysis, data analyst, social media marketing, and full stack Java, and many more courses which were interesting, and they gave us an insight of how everything happens, and they take you through the course from the starting of the course to the end, and what next, that is placements as well. How you should be going into the interviews and how you should be approaching to companies, your resume building, and there were so many things which XLR is going to help you in, and they are ready to give you all the knowledge required even if you are a beginner. So I really felt good about this visit, and I would really recommend XLR to everyone who's listening to this, and also to all my friends, that I had a very good experience with XLR, and I would suggest you to experience the same. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Satish and I am from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology. I am here to share my experience about XLR program. I took part in the XLR program that was conducted in the last month about the mobile app development using Flutter. What I liked the most about this session was the trainer started from the scratch. That means even the beginner who don't know about the basics of the program, even they can learn the most from this program. It gave me hands-on experience by developing a project which was the final outcome. Thank you XLR for giving me this opportunity, and I would also recommend all my friends to take part in the XLR programs. Thank you.
Hello, very good evening. Hope you are doing well. So today we will start about what is Jenkins and why we use Jenkins. Okay, so let me share my screen. So is my screen visible? Okay. So what is Jenkins? See, Jenkins is an open source automation server. Like it is written in Java. Like it helps us to automate the building, testing, and deploying of the softwares. So let me write. See, Jenkins is an open source automation server. Automation server. So it is written in Java programming language. So it mainly helps us to automate the deployment auto automate the build. Firstly, build. Secondly, test. And third one is deploy. So Jenkins is an automation server. It is written in Java and it mainly helps us to automate, build, test, and deploy. So where it is widely used, it is widely used in continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. So widely used in CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Delivery or deployment. So what's the difference between continuous delivery or deployment? So when the code is built and it is automated in the Jenkins pipeline. So when the code is pushed to the server, automatically means deployment. So when it is manually pushed at the stage of deployment is continuous delivery. So like if for example, like think Jenkins as a DevOps bot, like it will watch your project. So whenever someone walks or makes a change, like committing code, someone makes a change, like so committing the code to the code repository. So what will Jenkins do then? So Jenkins will automatically build the project, like it will pull the code from the repository, automatically pull the code from the repository. Next, it will automatically run the test. Automatically run the test. So after running the test, what will it do? It will do it will notify you the issue. If there is any error, it will notify back. Then it will deploy the application in the server. Deploy the application. And the fifth one is it will monitor. It will monitor. So what Jenkins will do is it will automatically pull the code from the repository and build the code and run the test, and it will notify the issue to the developer back, and it will deploy the application and also monitor the application. So for this, everything, the pipeline is created to automate the process. So let's study about like how Jenkins came into the picture. How Jenkins came into the picture. So it was started by Hudson, like at Micro Systems in 2004. In 2004 by Microsystems. Then Oracle acquired and re-released as Jenkins in 2011. And then they left as a open source, which gained more popularity. So let's discuss like why Jenkins. Why Jenkins? So like before the Jenkins, like the CI/CD tool in general, like how it was like the development teams like faced a lot of problems. So there was a manual builds before Jenkins. There was a manual builds. So the developers has to like manually compile the code or run the test and deploy. So it was very much a time consuming process and also prone to errors. So the developers had to manually manually build the code, build and compile the code. And then run the test. And deploy. So it is a very much time consuming and it was prone to error. So this is not for the one time, they has to do for every compile. They have to manually compile for every time. If they write the code, they need to do compile and for every time they have to do. So they have to run the test for every time. If there is a new feature, like if they write the code and they have to run the test and compile. So it was a very much time consuming. So it was taking several hours, several days also. So another thing is integration. See, the developers like they are working in the isolated environment or they are work. So there will be a lot of developers like they has to they have built the code and they need to merge the code. So when they are merging the code, like they facing the issue like conflicts, bugs, and unexpected behaviors. So developers write the code, and when in the time for merging, they face issues, bugs, and majorly conflicts. So what happens in the integration means like there will be, so all the developers will push the code to the code repository. Like the code will clash. Like someone might change the function name, or someone delete a file, and someone test will be failing, and the build breaks. So in this, like no one knows like whose code as the faulty ones. So it was a very integration hell, we call it as. And the third thing is irregular testing. So these are all before Jenkins, like what I am discussing now, how it was. So how testing was done, it was only done like before release. So it was very hard to trace the bugs, and it was very risk of increasing the broking of the code. So it was rarely done before release. So it was very hard to trace the bug. So how much time they would take? Like it would take only like every 2 weeks they used to test, or a month. So if the bug was found, like they had no, like no clue like how to solve the issue. So then the Jenkins came for all this conclusion. Then the Jenkins came. So whenever a developer push the code to GitHub, so Jenkins will automatically pull it, build it, test it, and even deploy it. Like if everything goes well, so there is no manual, no more manual builds. Next, there was no last time merges. So it was giving a very good continuous feedback. So it was running automated pipelines, so which helps us to like shipping the code faster, safer, and without errors. Ships the code faster, safer, and without error. So why Jenkins? So there is no more manual builds and no more last time merges, and there was a very good continuous feedback. Next, we will discuss about what is the use cases. So what can Jenkins do? So it mainly features the CI/CD pipelines, CI/CD pipelines. What does it does? It automates build, test, deploy process. So what other can Jenkins do is integration. So it works with multiple services like Git, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Maven, Gradle, Docker, and many more services. So it integrates with many more services, we call it as. So it works with Git, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Maven, Docker. So third thing it will do is testing automation. So it will run automatically unit and integration test. So automatically run unit and integration test. So the fourth one is deployment automation. So it deploys to servers. So whatever the cloud infrastructure, like it will deploy to AWS EC2, or it will deploy to Kubernetes services. It will deploy to Docker container services as well, or any other cloud platform like EC2, Kubernetes, Docker services. So fifth thing Jenkins can do is like it can send the notification. So what kind of notification? Like the alerts, like how it will send means like it will send via email or the Slack channel. So why it will send? So if there is a build is failed or build is succeeded. Email, Slack. So when build is fail or succeed. And the fifth and the sixth one is plugin systems. So it has nearly more than 1,800 plus plugins available for integration, and it has many more tools. 800 plus plugins available for integration. So what Jenkins can do, so it will create a CI/CD pipeline. So we can define the build, test, security, and deploy also scan. And in the second part, there is integration. So it will work with Git, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, Maven, and Docker. So many other services can be integrated with the Jenkins. So it's a complete manual process. So third one is the test automation. So it can automatically run the unit and integration test. And the fourth one is the deployment automation. So it can deploy to any servers like the EC2 or Azure GCP and Kubernetes and the Docker services as well. So whatever we set for the deployment, it will be deployed successfully. So on the fifth one is it has very good notification system like plugin. So it send alert via email or Slack, like when build is failed or succeeded, or we can set any kind of the thing. Even for the testing also we can set, for deploy also we can set, for scan also we can set. And the sixth thing is the plugin system. So it has 1800 plus plugins available for integration and tools. So let's discuss like what are the benefits of the Jenkins. So what are the benefits of Jenkins? So firstly, it will save times. Saves time. So the whatever the repeated task are there, those things are automated. So in the build, test, and deploy. So automating the repetitive task. The phase of build, test, and deploy. So second thing is and the second benefit is it's a faster feedback. So it gives faster feedback. So what it will do is it will quickly notify the developers like about the issue in the code. So quickly notifies developers about the issue in a code. So third key benefits are, so it builds a better code quality. So how it will build better code quality is like it will run a frequent test, like so that it will reduce the bugs and regressions. To run the frequent test, so which will reduce the bugs. So it has a one of the best team collaboration. So it will encourage frequent integration and it avoids much conflict. Frequent integration. Avoid merge conflicts. So, and the fifth benefit is it is scalable. Like we can set the master or master slave architecture. So the parallel builds can be run on those servers. So it is scalable. So uses master slave architecture. So then it will build a parallel builds can take place. So it can run parallel builds so that the efficiency will be more and the availability of the server will be very much. And the fifth key benefit is it's a open source. It's completely free. There is no licensing and it is a very large community and a constant updates will be there. It's a free and open source. That means no licensing is there. And it has a very large community. So what are the benefits? It saves time. It has a faster feedback. It has a better code quality and it is scalable and it is free and open source. So let's take one of the scenario. So when you're working on a e-commerce website like Amazon, Flipkart, like whatever it might be, so you got a wonderful team and you are a developer there. So what developers will do? Developers will push the code. So developers will push the code to the code repository. So what will Jenkins do? Jenkins will immediately jump into the action. So it's like a robot. So whenever there is a new commit, so it will detect and it pulls the latest code. So Jenkins detects the new commit. And pulls the latest code. So then what will it do? Then it will build using Maven. If it is a Java or Spring Boot application, it will build using Maven. If it is Java or Spring Boot application. So then after building, it will run the unit test or like if the function is running well, if or like if the basic things are working well, like it will run the unit test, checks if basic things are working. So if the test passes, like what will it do is Jenkins sends a notification to the developer. So the TA team, the build has passed. So if the build is failed or the test is failed, it will give the feedback as something is broken, like go fix it. So after build is succeeded, So it will deploy the application to the staging server. So deploy the application to staging server. So here in the staging server, so there will be a QA team. They will test the product. So they will check each and every, like if, for example, this is e-commerce, they will check each and every integration. Like they will add the product to the cart. They will apply the code and test the things. So if QA approves, so Jenkins will then push the code to the production. Jenkins will push the code to production. Okay, just a minute. So this is the developer's local system. So this is the code repository. So this is the Jenkins server. This is the staging environment. There will be a QA team. Here the build, test, deploy takes place. If there is any failure, it will give the feedback to the developer, like two issues detected, two issues or errors or bugs. Then after approval of the QA team, so it is deployed to the production. Then there will be monitoring team. Monitoring and logging team. So this is a basic architecture. there will be 3-4 environments: pre-production, dev environment, so let's discuss about master and slave architecture. In Jenkins. So nowadays it is called as a master node or master slave architecture. So here is a developer. He pushes the code to Git. Here is a Jenkins master. So what will it do is it triggers the job. It schedules the build. And monitors the agent. So this consider this as a manager like. So here we have node or a slave. Call it as a node or a slave. So so these are servers basically. Jenkins master is running on one server, and node and another node is running on the another servers. So this will execute the test. And this node 2, this will execute the build. And we can have multiple nodes. So if the application is big, we can have multiple nodes. So what will the master node will do is it will distribute the workload to the slaves. So how it is connected? So through SSH agents, if it is Linux, like TCP connection by and yeah, we can it is also connected by HTTPS or HTTP and a REST API. So the nodes will execute the assigned task. So this will assign the task and this will execute the task. So do you have any questions? So why we have distributed node grids? Like we have here in this node, we have the test is executed in this build is executed. So what are the benefits? First one is scalability, and the second one is security. So like running jobs on the separate servers using the node and master architecture. So it will mitigate the risk, and the performance is increased. So how it is increased? So master node can like it can orchestrate like it can thousands of builds in a day, so that we can distribute the load for multiple nodes for build, test, and deploy. So that the server is always available. So do you have any questions? So the chat is open. You can type the questions. So what is staging? One of the yes. So staging is like a pre-production environment. So whatever the production is there, it is a replica of the production. Like it is called as pre-production. So how much time it will require, someone has asked, to get familiar with all of these environments. So to understand the concept, it requires hardly like 1 or 2 weeks. That's it. So once you start working on the live environment, you will gradually get to know about all the things. See, what's the difference between SonarQube and Jenkins? SonarQube is one of the part of the CHD pipeline for running the test, doing the integration test, and checking the code quality. Is one of the part of the CHD process. So can we run Jenkins on a free tier EC2? Yeah, you can run on Jenkins. So if you use the free tier for like the T2.micro, so then it is not built. So if you use T2.medium or T3.medium, it is billed hourly. So it does not comes under free tier. So let's take a break for 15 minutes and come back at 8:15. So you can install Jenkins, but you cannot run because if you run the jobs, the server gets hanged. So should I got hanged? So better to use like T2.medium for at least 4 GB of RAM, two virtual CPUs. Okay, guys, let's start with another topic like Jenkins pipeline. So let me share my screen. So Jenkins pipeline. So what exactly is Jenkins pipeline? See, think Jenkins pipeline as a scripted plan. So you tell the machine, like you define, so how my code should pull, then how it should build, then how it should test, and then finally deploy it. So you also mentioned like if anything fails, like send me an alert. So you describe. So you tell the machine how code should be pulled. And tested and deployed and send alerts back. If fail or succeed. So you tell the machine you write the code to build the code to test and deploy. So that's all about Jenkins pipeline. So we call it as a Jenkins file. So we write in a code. So we write as a code. So that file is called Jenkins file. So we call it as a recipe book for DevOps. So for example, how the pipeline should look. So this is the pipeline I'm writing. And agents. So in these agents, like you are mentioning, what tool to be installed, Java, like JDK, Maven, and stages. So what is stages? So stages means for build one stage, for test one stage, for deploy one stage, for scan on stage. So you're bifurcating, and there is steps. You're mentioning steps. So this is the script, basic script to follow. So there are two types of pipelines. First is two types of pipelines. First is declarative. First is declarative pipeline. So what does this pipeline does. So it is structured, like easy to understand and follow a strict format. And we, for a beginner friendly, it is completely beginner friendly. So what I have written above is the declarative pipeline. So most of the companies use declarative pipeline. Secondly, they use scripted pipeline. So this is a old pipeline, but it is more flexible. Why it is? It is using Groovy scripting because Groovy scripting is like code plus the script. So it is hard for the beginners. So it is great for the custom logic. So we can add more logics in this. Okay, then let's start implementing in one of the AWS server. So let me launch an EC2 instance for installing Jenkins on Ubuntu 22.04. Click on launch instance. Name it as, so let's, firstly we will do Jenkins master and slave architecture. Jenkins, selecting Ubuntu operating system. Instance type, I will select T2.medium. So it will cost 0.0499 USD per hour. Selecting key pair. Then select the security group. So port number 8080 should be open for Jenkins server to run. And port number 22 also I am allowing. So review everything is correct or not. Yeah, then launch the instance. So copy the public IP address and SSH into the server. So username as Ubuntu. So select the private key. Click on accept. So we are successfully logged into the server. So firstly we need to do sudo update to update the packages. So then we're going to install JDK 21 Java. Sudo apt install fund config open JDK. I'm using latest JDK 21 -J or E. So it will ask for the confirmation, type Y for yes confirmation. Yeah, it's completed. Check for version. So OpenJDK is installed successfully. Then we're going to install Jenkins. I have a script. It is also available in the official jenkins.io. Select Debian and Ubuntu. So select for long-term support. Select each and paste it here. Then select this command and paste in the server. And again sudo apt get update. Then finally install Jenkins. Type yes, enter. So here you can see the server statics. So when running it uses ID or 100% of the CPU and the RAM currently using 0.93. So previously I installed Java. Here is the command sudo apt get update app install OpenJDK 21 latest version and checking the Java version. And to start the Jenkins, sudo systemctl enable Jenkins. Copy the command. So paste command here and enter. So it has enabled the Jenkins. Now you're going to start the Jenkins. So Jenkins is started. To check the status, use status command. So you can see active and running. So press Q to exit from that. So then copy the public IP and paste and colon 8080. It is enabled on port 8080. So that's why you are able to access that Jenkins server. So copy this path and go to the server and type sudo cat. Cat means viewing the application without opening. So press enter. So the password is visible. So copy the password and go back to the Jenkins browser and paste and continue and install suggested plugins. Click this checkbox. It installed several packages and dependencies and plugins. Most of these are plugins. So continue as admin, 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 admin. So save and finish. Start using Jenkins. So then we are going to create a master and slave in the Jenkins. So for that, we are going to launch another EC2 instance of lower configuration. This one we have selected t2.media and we are going to launch another instance of t2.micro. Call it as node or a slave. Select Ubuntu. So keep this as default. So instance type, I'm selecting free tier t2.micro. So select the key pair. Select the security group. Allow port 8080 and port 22. Then click launch configuration. So the slave node is up and running. SSH into the server of slave. So click on session, select SSH, paste the public IP address of node, username as Ubuntu, click advanced SSH settings, click the private key and click OK. Accept. So we are currently in the node server. First, we need to update the package sudo apt update. So here you can see only 1 GB of RAM and CPU is 100% utilizing. In the Jenkins server, it has 4 GB of RAM, 1 GB is already utilized. So here also we need to install Java JDK. Copy this Java JDK 21 JRE command and go for the node instance, paste, type S to installation. So in this instance, I'm not going to install any kind of Jenkins server. Check the Java is installed or not. You can see OpenJDK 21. So how are we going to connect master and node architecture means? So we are going to use SSH keygen. So it's a secure shell for connecting master and the slave node. So first we're going to go into super user sudo su. We are writing the super user. So we need to create a directory here, mkdir. So directory name will be Jenkins slave. You can name as your convention. So click enter, press ls. So the directory is created. So next thing you need to give the permission chmod 755. So 7 means read, write, execute command for the your owner, and read and write for the user, and read and write for the group. 5 means user and 5 means group. And chmod 755 and the file name. So you're giving the file permission. Then you're going to Jenkins slave directory, cd Jenkins slave. So you're currently in the Jenkins slave. So you're creating SSH keygen, SSH hyphen keygen. So it will create in the root dot SSH. Just press enter. You're not changing any path. You're not changing any phrase. Press enter. So SSH key is generated. So how to go to SSH keygen? So cd and the home symbol. It will go back to the home directory. Press ls. Then cd slash root. So it has mentioned clearly slash root dot ssh here. Slash dot ssh. So type ls. You can see here authorized keys and ID. This is the private key and this is the public key. So when you when you type SSH keygen, so it will create one private key and one public key. So to connect one server to the another server. So then go back to Jenkins. So select manage Jenkins, come down and choose credentials and click on global and here add credentials, global credentials. So you have to select SSH username with private key. Come down. So your naming as root username. So come down, check the private key, enter directly. So add private key. So you need to go back to the node server and do cat. This is the private key. To view the private key, cat. Press enter. So the private key is generated. And also do cat public key. So this is public key, this is private key. So copy this message, private key, and go back to the Jenkins server, paste it here. So give description as root, just a minute. So we need to type the description. Or else leave it blank and create. So then go back to the node server. We have authorized key. So in that we need to add the public key. So we need to edit the authorized key. So vi authorized key. First we need to copy this public key. Press enter. So come down. Press site insert. Then add the public key. Then escape button to go back to insert mode. Then colon WQ exclamatory to save and exit. So private key and public key are set. So we need to create a node in the Jenkins server. So manage Jenkins node. Click new node. So name it as test node. Select it as permanent agent, create. So increase the number of executors to 3. So at a time it will run 3 pipelines. This number of executors means, so at a time it will run 3 pipelines when the build job is executed or test is executed. So give the path for root directory /home /ubuntu /jenkins-slave. So this is what we had given here, /home /ubuntu /jenkins-slave. So label it as slave -2. So usage, only build jobs with label expression. So I have given it should build in this node server only. So launch mode via SSH agent. So we need to give the IP address of the node. Public IP address. So credential root. That's the private key we have set in Jenkins credential manager. So host key verification, select the last one, non-verifying verification strategy. So click save. So it is launching. So the nodes are created. This is the master node. The server one, it has 4 GB of RAM. This is the node server which I have created now. So I have mentioned three executors. So 3 pipelines will be created at a time. 3 pipelines will be run at a time. So this is the master and this is the slave node. So master node will assign the task to this test node and it will execute here in the test node. So this is the master and slave architecture. So I hope you have understood, guys. So do you have any questions? Please answer. Please ask. So chat is open. You can ask the questions. So in the coming session, we're going to implement each pipelines. Like we're going to deploy in Docker, Kubernetes, and also integrate the SonarQube in the Jenkins pipeline also. Can you explain like why we are creating master and test node? Like what is the purpose for that? Like you are asking. See, like to distribute the work. For in live example, the manager will assign the task to the employers. So that's the thing. That's the concept behind it. So there will be a lot of build, test, and scan process should be going on. So one server cannot handle all of those. So it will create a master and worker node architecture. So master node will just look back like what task should I assign for the worker node or a slave node. And it will control. So that's the concept. So in the real world architecture, so master node will be set on one cloud and worker node will be in AWS, Azure or any kind. They will just connect using the SSH agents. Like one of the question is like why we have to assign private key and public key in Jenkins to authorize. Like the server is the third party. We see it's an external part. So to authorize, so it holds a public key and Jenkins holds a private key. So it will send like so if public key gives the access, the private key, that's how it works. Yes, like we need to. So to run only the Jenkins T2.micro is enough. To integrate Sonar Cube and other plugins means like T2.medium is required because you can't wait for the time. The server gets hanged up. T2.medium is chargeable. See, you can say stop the instance and the billing will be stopped. Like if you want to work again, you can just stop the instance. If you don't want to work again, you can delete the instance. Any more questions? Okay, let's wind the session today. Okay, thank you guys. We'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So, dear students, I already shared the attendance link multiple times. Still, I'm sharing it once again because you guys are asking. I think I already shared 5 to 10 times. Please send the attendance link of day 6. Gayatri, how it's possible to share the attendance link of day 6? We can't go in a past, right? That link will be active for that day only. So we can't open that or you're not able to feel that as. How check your attendance? My attendance is 100% because I'm going to join the session every day. So no need to worry about my attendance. Guys, simple mathematics we need to use. There are 15 sessions. If you are going to attend the 9th session, you know that you are joining the session, you are marking the attendance, then your attendance will be the 60%. You just need to use the simple math, which if I'm not wrong, in 5th standard only we learn that, right? Yeah, I shared the link. I will wait for 1 minute. So please make sure that everybody marking the attendance. Thank you, Swapnil, for helping me out on this and answering few queries. Okay, guys, chalo. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. So please be on a time and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night. Take care. Uh, Thank you, Swapnil.